See these? These are the scissors that I use to defeat you. 2 for 2. Right here. No, you can't beat 2 scissors. Your rock can only beat 1 scissors. So while he like scratches that one, I'm gonna like come at your wrist. Hello and welcome to not just any old episode of Popcorn Bucket List here, a very special episode. Some might call it a very special Oscar episode.
Oh, like an Oscar special.
Like an Oscar special. Yeah. Let's just call it that. Like we haven't been calling it that for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is going to be essentially part 1. What we've done in the years past, in case you haven't seen before, is right before the Academy Awards, we kind of throw down the gauntlet to each other.
Yep.
I don't know if that's exactly how that works. I've never actually thrown a gauntlet at anyone before.
I haven't either.
But we present this challenge every year. See who can pick the most correct Oscar winners each year.
It's not the films that we want to win. It's which films we think the Academy is going to pick.
Yes. Because the films we want to win and the films the Academy picks
are not always the same.
I don't know. I feel like in the last few years I've been kind of simpatico with the Academy.
So I would say some, but I also feel that they miss wide on a couple. They Blair Walsh a few of them.
Why'd you have to bring that up, man? Why'd you have to do that?
When I think missing bad,
I was having a really good day here today, and now it's just straight to depression. That's what you did to me right there. Okay. Well, I'm just going to recover from that for a second. But anyways, this will be fourth time. So for the score is I've won 2. You somehow stole 1. I don't know. I was having an off year, I guess. So
yeah, it's going to be good. I've got a good feeling.
You got a good feeling? You think you're going to go 2 for 2?
Yep. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Yeah.
Couple of guys. Are they on the Academy Award board?
They watch and vote, yes. Probably the same guys that you know, but
I know no one.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I know. But I know you haven't been talking to them. For all you know, I've been talking to them.
Well, we'll see.
Special guest Emma Stone next week. Dang, wouldn't that be a get? That's not actually happening though. But yeah, so you're trying to go. You're trying to start your streak here, going 2 in a row. I have to reclaim glory. Mm-hmm. The goal last year was 3-peat.
Yeah, the pressure's on you.
It is, because the pressure I've added to myself essentially, because not only do I wish to win, I wish to crush you. I wish to leave you crying in a corner. I wish to leave you in the dust so bad that the dust itself is so old that it itself has accumulated new dust. Okay, so really, there's no like complicated rules to this one here. The rules are pretty
simple.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Basically, we just look at the list of categories. We pick which one we think will win. If you get it right, you get a point.
Yep.
Which I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here. And in years past, we've actually done both double-digit numbers. Yeah. When you think about it, most of the categories, you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting it right.
Yep.
We got like a 20% chance on each of these, and we've done pretty good.
And it also helps too if you watch the films and kind of, but it also understands like knowing like what is the Academy looking for when they make these decisions. That helps a lot.
You got to go full mentalist and get into the mind of an Academy Award voter here. But whoever has the most by the end of essentially the show will win. We will not reveal who won until we record next week.
Correct.
So we will not win, or we will not know who won until next week, because it's kind of a nice little surprise there. In the event of a tie, I don't know if we ever prepared for ties before, but I've got like 3 backup plans this year. In the event of a tie, we have been keeping track of how many of the Academy Award nominated movies we've both watched. Mm-hmm. Whoever has the most out of the 2 of us, that will be an extra point, and that will win it. If somehow that is still tied, we will both bet on how long we think the show will last. And for the record, it starts 6 p.m. Central Time on ABC. So start using that as a starting point. Whether or not the show actually starts at that point, I'm not going to make it that complicated. We're just going to use 6 o'clock as a starting point. When the show is done,
when the credits roll.
When the credits roll, when the runtime, that's the official runtime. If by some ungodly miracle we still tie after that, which the odds of that happening, I'm not good at math, but I know that would be crazy.
Yep.
We'll rock, paper, scissors it here at the table,
Perfect.
and that'll determine it. So
perfect.
We also give ourselves up till the show to watch and lock in our picks, but all of our picks have to be locked in. We don't really have like a Dropbox or anything. Honor system. I trust you.
Yeah,
no
I
reason
trust
not
you
to.
too. Take a picture.
You shouldn't. I mean, that's how I'm going to beat you. You're too nice.
Yeah, just take a picture.
I'm willing to destroy you in any way, shape, or form. So you shouldn't trust me. But I do trust you.
I'm getting most of them right, so
well,
I'm not too nervous.
I'm going to get them all of them right. So
maybe I will too.
Doesn't matter if you get most of them right when I get them all right. And then we're going to get it. Then we're going to tie with the Academy Award watched, and then we're going to tie with the runtime, and then I'm just going to destroy in rock, paper, scissors like I've done twice already.
Yeah, I've lost rock, paper, scissors.
You beat most people.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
2 for 2.
Decent.
2 for 2. So the champion or the challenge has been thrown. Year 4.
Year 4.
I'm going for 3.
And we will decide punishments or
what you still haven't given me my punishment from last year, which I feel like now should be null and void.
What? I don't even remember. 'Cause it wasn't it to watch Lord of the Rings?
It was whatever you. Well, no, it was. You had one, and I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, come up with something different. And then like 6 months later, you were like, I'm just going to force you to watch Lord of the Rings.
I think we should still do that.
That's going to be a rough day.
We'll have to. Maybe one. Yeah. I'll get 3 of them on. Okay, we'll talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk after. You had like 365 days to put this together, but whatever. But yeah, actually, that is a good point. Whoever wins ends up coming up with a movie-themed punishment for the other. Years past, I made you read a statement about Brie Larson. That was a fun one.
Yep.
And the second time, I made you wear a really tight licorice pizza shirt that I think actually started cutting off circulation in certain parts of your body.
That was a tight shirt.
That was not my intention. It was funny for a while there, and then I started seeing purple, and I'm like, okay, when he starts looking like Thanos, then we're going to stop this. But we didn't get to that point. But anyway, so like I said, tune in next week. We will reveal the winner. We will break down the Oscars, all that fun stuff. That'll be here next week. But a real short episode here this week. We're just going to jump right into the weekly preview here. We got a few interesting ones to talk about here. First one, Thursday, March 7th, coming straight to Amazon Prime. Today, the day this episode drops, Thursday, March 7th, Ricky Stenicki. I think I'm pronouncing that right. A comedy movie starring Zac Efron, Jermaine Fowler, John Cena, a few other people. Directed by Peter Farrelly, who is probably best known as one of the Farrelly brothers. Did a lot of comedy movies. More recently, he's been kind of going solo. He directed Green Book and Greatest Beer Run Ever. Basically, these 3 friends, they've been using a fictional friend to get out of things and go hang out.
Yeah.
So whenever they want to go to Atlantic City, but their wives are saying no. Oh, look at that. Ricky Stenicki, he broke his leg. We need to go visit him in the hospital. Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Well, eventually they start to catch on to this lie. So the 3 friends, instead of confessing and doing the right thing, they decide, hey, why don't we hire a guy to play Ricky Stenicki? Which at first I feel like was the worst option here, but they are providing a job for a struggling actor.
Yep.
That is another way to look at it. They're helping the economy in the struggling arts in a weird way.
Yeah.
I don't know. This premise does sound kind of funny. I will say the trailer didn't show as many of the funny parts it potentially could have had, except for the John Cena moments, I feel like.
Yeah, and I have a little hesitancy. This film has got a lot of star power. It's got John Cena. It's got Zac Efron. It's got Andrew Santino, who's a pretty big comic. I don't remember the rest off the top of my head, but this is going straight to Hulu.
Straight to Prime.
Straight to Prime, excuse me.
Still same point.
Same, yeah. Like, if you have a film with John Cena, a comedy with John Cena and Zac Efron, that should be, breaking even no matter what at the box office. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little hesitant. I still think it's going to be good. I hope it's funny, but I'm also prepared to be let down.
I mean, but we talked about John Cena's movie Freelance that went straight to theaters.
That was just John Cena, no Zac Efron.
It also had Alison Brie in it.
Who?
Alison Brie from Community.
Who?
Come on, no, you know who Alison Brie is.
Who?
No, don't be a jerk.
I know she is.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
But I wouldn't say she has as much star power as Zac Efron.
Okay, maybe. I'll give.
Yes.
Okay, maybe she has a little bit more TV power, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know if we can say with certainty anymore whether or not a movie goes straight to streaming is an automatic death sentence, or if it is kind of, well, it just happened to be this group producing it. So that's just the easiest.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, we'll talk about this a little bit more, I feel like, in next coming weeks, because that Roadhouse movie is coming out here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that'll be an interesting time to bring up that topic here. But, yeah, like I said, interesting premise. John Cena, I think, is funny. He's almost always been funny, though.
Yeah.
So no real surprise.
Zac Efron lost all that weight that he put on for
he
Iron
did,
Claw.
didn't he?
You could still tell he looks stronger. His face looks more defined, but he looks much more back to the normal Zac Efron that everybody's used to.
That's always crazy to me how actors can do that. That's not healthy, but it's impressive. But it's not healthy.
But it's impressive.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving mixed messages there, but you get what I mean. Anyway, speaking of impressive but not very healthy, Kung Fu Panda 4 also coming out here this weekend, Friday, March 8th. The last Kung Fu Panda movie came out in like 2016, so it's been a few years. It's been about 8 years. This one, Po has to train a new Dragon Warrior to take his place so that he can get this cool new promotion as spiritual leader of the Valley. All while he's facing his greatest enemy yet, the Chameleon. Noticeable absence from the trailer. No Furious 5.
Yep.
No Tigress. No Jackie Chan Monkey. No Seth Rogen Mantis, which I always forget he plays the Mantis in that.
Yep.
No Lucy Liu Snake. And no Crane. None of the Furious 5. So my question to you is, do you think they actually are not showing up in this movie at all? It's just kind of a post story. They couldn't get them all to come back. Or do you think they'll have some sort of special last-minute plot twist at the end here?
I think they'll be in it for a second. It might be as something as they were there, and it might be more for the story for Mo, just more for the story for Po, not a group of them, if that makes sense. It might be very story driven that they're not there, or it could be, we couldn't get them, so we had to write them out somehow. So I don't know. I could see it going either way. I could see them doing a little.
Okay, but given how I presented it as a question, in which case you need to choose a side, why don't you stop straddling the fence here? You do this every time. I present I present a question to get your opinion, and then you're like, it could be this, could be that.
I'm gonna go. They don't show. They're there.
You're saying they're gonna be there?
They're gonna be there. It might be like a 1 minute, 2 minute scene, but they'll be there.
I'm gonna say they couldn't get him back, so they're just not gonna be in this story.
All right.
They're not gonna show up at all.
All right.
I'm not willing to bet money on it, but that's my.
How about
guess.
this race car?
No.
Okay.
You have no idea actually how much those car toys are valued to me and my family.
Okay.
That's basically a family heirloom you just touched right there.
That's fine.
That's a long story.
Could be my family heirloom now.
No, I will hunt you down. Sir, I will hunt you down. I've surprisingly enjoyed the last Kung Fu Panda movies. I think that has to do a lot with Jack Black, though.
Yeah, Jack Black's awesome.
Like, when you look at these trailers and some of those past ones, it's always kind of, it very easily could have just been, I'm a fat, stumbling panda. Oh, look at me, kind of stumble around, prop comedy. But they actually do put a little bit more heart into this, and he usually does learn a new lesson in Kung Fu each time here, which, if these movies didn't do that, I don't think we'd be seeing a fourth one. I don't even know if we'd be seeing a third one here.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%, especially after the first one. I wasn't super amped for it because I thought it was going to be that, oh, it's just a fat panda. Like but there's so much more, many layers and more things to it.
Hey, we talk a lot about movies on this channel, but sometimes the ones we talk about aren't the most accessible. That's where the Marshall-Lyon County Library comes in handy. They have a great collection of physical media, as well as a couple of online services with many, many options for movies, TV shows, and documentaries. It's easy. Just get your own library card at the Marshall-Lyon County Library and gain access to their large variety of movies, TV shows, and of course, books. Also, be sure to check back every month as we here at Popcorn Bucket List make specific movie recommendations based on a monthly theme. This month, we focus on Oscar-winning movies in celebration of the Academy Awards. So head on over to the Marshall-Lyon County Library for some of our favorites and check out the channel to get even more movie recommendations. And now, on with the show! Also coming out to theaters here, Imaginary. I just want to... Okay, let's get something out of the way here first and foremost, just so there's no confusion. This is not the Imaginary Friend movie starring Ryan Reynolds that looks fun and jokey and is directed by John Krasinski and happy.
Yeah.
That's coming out later this year. It's weird that we have two Imaginary Friend movies in one year, but this is not that one. So don't bring your kids to this one. Please. I don't want people in the comments being like, you told me this was an Imaginary Friend movie. Well, it is, but it's a very creepy one.
It's very creepy. It's a Blumhouse.
It's a That was exactly my next point. This is a Blumhouse movie. They've been killing it recently in the horror genre, I would say. It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. I haven't been this scared by a teddy bear since Winnie the Pooh. And no, I'm not talking about the Blood and Honey one. I'm talking about the regular version.
Yeah,
I don't trust.
Scared you as a kid?
I don't trust that bear. I don't trust that bear.
Oh, Piglet.
Yeah, he's fatting Piglet up or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's for my therapist. I don't need to bore you guys with that. Basically, this movie asks the question. It's kind of like Pixar. You know, Pixar always had their ideas of like, what if toys had feelings? What if, bugs had feelings? All that stuff. This one had the question of, what if imaginary friends were real and they would get super bummed out if you left them?
Super bummed out.
Super bummed out. Like revenge killing bummed out.
Yeah.
Which, that's not a very healthy reaction.
No. I think it's going to be fun. I like Blumhouse films. They might not always be the greatest, but I enjoy watching them for the first time, and I'm excited.
More often than not, they know the type of movie they're making here. Like, it's a scary imaginary friend that possesses a doll. It's like Annabelle.
Yeah, it's nothing that's gonna revolutionize horror cinema.
Yeah,
but it's a fun horror movie to go watch.
Question for you before we move on to the next one here.
Answer for you.
Did you have an imaginary friend when you grew up?
Ooh, imaginary friend? No, I don't think so.
You didn't?
Not that I remember or.
Well, you probably should.
Did I talk to myself? Oh, heck yeah. I still talk to myself.
That's not the question I asked, and now I have a lot more concerns.
Yeah. Imaginary, did I think somebody was like, oh, hey, come sit on this chair by me? No, it wasn't weird.
That's not weird. That's a very common childhood thing.
Did I have maybe a doll that I played with or an action figure? Action figure.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't an imaginary friend.
Okay.
It was
I'm not judging you if you had one. I'm saying it's not like you were judging people who did.
I am.
And I'm saying that as maybe someone who had two.
Oh.
So
that's weird.
I thought we don't judge. We don't judge down here.
Did your imaginary friends hang out without you sometimes?
All the time. All the time.
Sorry.
All the time. They left me alone. They called me loser.
One said, "Yeah, my mom won't let me play," and the other one says, "Yeah, I can't either." And then you see them playing together.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, I had one, and then I came up with a second one, and then they ganged up against me, and they just left. So that's. Yeah. So my movie, the imaginary friend gets revenge on the family. Yeah. My movie would be getting revenge on the imaginary friend.
I like that.
Trying to catch him Ghostbusters style.
Yeah.
So, anyways, again, that's all for my therapist. You guys don't need to. We're getting way too much into Nick's psyche here this week.
We are.
All right. So finally coming out here this weekend, Damsel. This one's coming straight to Netflix. Movie starring Millie Bobby Brown of Stranger Things fame. She plays a princess who marries into a really messed up royal family.
Yeah.
Now, I would argue all monarchies are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them throughout
Especially
history.
the royal family.
Yeah,
That's wow.
like in the past they were messed up. Nowadays they're messed up, but it's because they're irrelevant messed up. And if any of you want to come at me on that one, say one job the king has right now. You can't. You can't do it. Tell me one thing the king does. Nothing.
Hangs out.
Yeah, he just hangs out. Like, it's messed up. It's irrelevant. Whatever. But this is a special kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like I almost had to watch this one twice because I almost felt like I kind of watched it and I'm like, did what I think happened just happen? Because at first I thought it was like her family, but then I think she marries into that family that essentially sacrifices their princesses to this
monster,
dragon. This dragon in this cave. It kind of reminded me of like the Sarlacc pit, the Rancor pit from Star Wars.
Yeah,
where they throw them in and it's just a monster and you got to survive and all that, and it's for their entertainment. I don't know. They make it sound like it's this tradition. It's like helped build their kingdom. Not really sure why.
Yeah,
but it's a whole spin on the damsel in distress. Usually you have a princess running away from a dragon. Knight in shining armor saves them. No knight in shining armor's coming this time.
Nope.
The knight in shining armor threw her into the pit.
Yeah.
He's not coming to save her.
And now she's got to save herself.
She's got to save herself.
She's a strong, independent woman.
It is worth mentioning, I've watched her in that Enola Holmes couple movies. I really enjoyed those. She does do some pretty good kick butt action there.
Yeah.
But that is very practical. That is very, like, we're just kind of fighting in the street. It will be interesting to see her do. And now I guess I'm gonna confess something here. I've not seen Stranger Things. Seems like something I would enjoy. I'm curious, how much digital effects fighting does she have to do in those shows?
She does a lot of this.
It's just a lot of staring and pointing, right? Yeah, it's just that's my point. As there's digital effects, but there's not a lot of her doing a lot of running around. Okay, you've made your point. And for a second there, I thought you were trying to see if you could move objects with your mind.
Well, you can't see it, but the ferns behind you
were they moving?
They were moving, yeah.
Seem pretty still right now.
Well, it's because it stopped.
Okay.
It stopped.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't have a camera pointed towards them, so I just have to take your word for it on that. But yeah, what do we think of Millie Bobby Brown in this one here? It looks like she's going to be kind of carrying this movie.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I don't know if she has like some contract with Netflix because I feel like this could be one that they would have pushed towards a movie theater as well. So I'm curious. It definitely gives off the strong woman.
Has she done any project besides something for Netflix? Because Stranger Things,
Godzilla wasn't Netflix.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay,
Godzilla.
Yeah, she was in a couple of them enough, I would say. Yeah. But no, first I was like, it's only Stranger Things, Enola Holmes, and this. But yeah, I totally forgot about Godzilla.
Things,
so she does get out and play every once in a while.
Yep.
She's not trapped in the Netflix offices, which is good to know.
It's good.
But that's going to do it for the weekly preview here this week. Let's wrap things up like we usually do with some number one recommends. Ryan, I'll let you go first. What are you recommending? Well, as if I don't already know.
I'm recommending Dune 2. I don't know if you were going to do that as well, if you're going to piggyback.
I got to back up.
Okay. Go check it out. Absolutely fantastic. Film you must see in the theater. Timothée Chalamet, however you want to say it. Sorry. Don't know.
Neither of those were correct.
I'm pretty sure it's Chalamet.
Yeah.
But then somebody said it's like because of the accent over the E, you're supposed to like whatever.
Okay.
He's a great actor. Rebecca Ferguson, even Florence Pugh and our boy Christopher Walken. Awesome. Everybody does great. Josh Brolin's the dog. Just goes to show you. Dave Bautista will never beat Josh Brolin. I'm sorry. Never.
Two movie franchises now he's tried and failed.
Yeah. I really like John Bautista's character, actually, because it's very different from what we're used to seeing him in. Everybody was great. Skarsgård was awesome. Just go check it out. Fantastic film. Austin Butler. Yeah.
He was great in this, too. Yeah.
Also, I was doing some reading on how they filmed that. They used infrared.
I read that, too.
That's crazy.
That scene was insane to watch, too.
Yeah. So it was awesome. Go check it out. It's beautifully shot, beautifully done. The music's great. Good story. If you've seen the older ones or read the books, you kind of know a little bit what happens, but it's still good, still wonderful.
Yeah,
Fantastic
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of that. Also, kind of recommend it as well. I mean, there's really nothing negative I can say about this movie, and I try. I'm a negative Nancy.
That's true.
I'm a negative Nick. I think we've said that before, and I try to find something negative, not to be a negative person, but to kind of temper expectations and just let them know, like, hey, just kind of expect this as well. I really can't find anything bad to say about this movie.
The only thing I would say is there's times where it does feel a hair long.
See, and even I didn't feel that though.
Yeah, and that's
like
weird
when the movie, because when the movie ended, if it wasn't for the fact that when we watched it, it wrapped up around 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I do got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, and it's late. But even when it wrapped up, I was like, I don't want it to end.
Yeah,
I want to stick around.
Yeah.
I want to see more of these characters. I want Dune 3 right now. I want to see where these guys go. But in the interest of recommending multiple things here, I'm also going to just soft recommend a show I've been meaning to watch for a while now, Reacher Season 1. I got through this pretty quickly, actually. It's about 8 episodes, about an hour each. But for those of you who had seen the Tom Cruise Reacher, it's a good adaptation. Nothing real bad about it. This one, I think, is a much more accurate adaptation of the book character and of the books. Alan Richardson is great in this show. Mm-hmm. He's someone I feel like we need to do a deep dive one of these days, because he's had a very, very interesting career.
Blue Mountain State, baby.
Yeah, exactly. If you watch him in Blue Mountain State and some of his earlier stuff, you would not expect him to be where he's at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some really good action. It's kind of like Batman, but more military.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a vigilante type, just kind of does whatever he wants, but he's always smart. He's always thinking.
Yeah.
So really interesting show. Looking forward to watching season 2 here in a little bit as well. But that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. I forgot to mention this earlier. With the Oscars and everything like that, we have updated our display over at the library. We have talked about Oscars here all day, all the new nominees. We're going to spotlight on some of the older ones here as well, I believe. Head on over to the Lyon County Library, where our display shows Oscar-winning movies throughout all of time.
Yep. It's not just Best Picture winners or Best Director or anything like that. It's any movie that's won an Oscar that we enjoyed. Yeah. That we like.
We left it kind of open like that. But
yeah.
So yeah, head on over there, check it out, and let us know which ones you would maybe want included in that as well. What are some of your favorite Oscar winners as well? And of course, make sure you check back here next week to see which one of us wins. It's going to be me. The Oscar Challenge 2024, fourth annual. We should do something special for the 5th annual next year.
We should.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We got 360.
Yeah, so it's 360 some days. Yeah, to figure that out. Which means I'm going to procrastinate till it's like 354 days after this.
Yeah.
Anyways, for myself and Ryan Meyerberg, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.